Good evening. So, I guess a few people are here, so I guess what I can say is good evening. Live stream, as many of you know, as the topic says, I'm starting the drawings for the winners of the 5,000 follower giveaway. So the first one I'm going to do, just because it's simple and straight, is a Comic Shift's request was Iron Man, and he was doing Mark 85. So we got my reference up, and we're gonna figure out. I got to be honest with you, I did not put in the layout time I normally do. So we might be exploring more than we are drawing today. But for those of you who are wondering where Winged Elf Girl is, she's taking a break from this. I am on my own, but I can see you guys, and I will do my best to read your comments. I can't reach everybody because I'm at a weird angle, because I want to make sure that you guys at least get to see some of the artwork. This is my first attempt by myself, so we're going to see how this goes. So, yeah. Here we go. What do you guys think I should do? Like, what I'm thinking about is just the classic Iron Man with his hand out doing the repulsor blast. But anybody got any good ideas other than that? We're working on a 6x8 400 series watercolor. It's smooth, so works good with pens and stuff like that. I've decided to shift over to pens for this project just to save time, and that way I'm not sitting here fiddling with ink all this time trying to keep everything clean. So, anybody have any ideas of a good pose for the Iron Man other than just his hand sticking out? See, we could do. So basically, what this is going to be is just like a little head and torso, maybe like midsection piece. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out an idea, but I can't really think of one other than his repulsor blast. Sounds good? Yeah, repulsor blast is pretty on the nose, so we just get started. I know you guys are probably having trouble seeing the pencil. Let's see, does that make it better or worse? Worse. Okay. Bear with me while I'm messing with the light, guys. I'm still trying to figure out all by myself. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and draw, and then I'll take breaks and show you what the process is, like how far I've gotten. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. There's my brush. There's me brush. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking my big old pencil and I'm just blocking in everything. There might be multiple erasings in this because, like I said, I didn't really have a chance. It was kind of crazy before I started the stream. Didn't really have a chance to sit and think it through. Move him over a little bit. Okay, so I've got his head. Welcome, everyone. And as always, guys, if you have any questions or anything of the sort, feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer them. Like I said, I usually have a helper on this, but I don't have a helper this week. So I'll do my best to make sure I try to answer the questions that you ask. If I miss you, I'm sorry. There we go. I'm having trouble seeing his shoulders, so I'm getting my reference figured out here. Okay, so you guys can see I've got the layout figured out. You can see his hand right there. Now I'm just starting to build in the details, and I'm starting to build in the, you know, where the eyes and everything's going to be. Is it better to have the desk slanted? For me, yes. Because with a flat desk, for me, I'd be like this, bent over my face in the drawing. Where this, I can kind of put my elbow down, can kind of relax, you know, can kind of rest my arm. I'm not arching my back as much. A slanted desk allows me to back up a little bit. So that's mainly why. It's mainly why my desk is slanted, just for my poor back. So. Thank you, Sketch Ugly. Is it the Masked Quack? Do I have a preferred art tool? I have a couple, actually. Basically, anything that just... A lot of my tools are developed off of what I've learned, how I work. A lot of people may have a similar tools. When I draw, I use... This is my trifecta of pencils. This is my first one. It's basically just like a architecture pencil. It's got like a little sharpener that you can do. It's the kind where you push the button in the back, and the lead comes out. You know, you can feed lead into it. This is a lead holder, and your lead's in here. I use this, and I keep it flat because this stops me from getting into details too early into the process. That kind of helps with this, because I would draw, and then I'd get like the face figured out, and then I'd figure out everything's wrong. So what I would end up doing is to help me start from big to small, I work with this one, and then I go in and start putting in details with this one, which is basically just a 0.5 mechanical pencil. 0.5 lead, I always use HB, and then I finish off with blacks and heavy lines with this graphite pencil, which basically all it is just like a regular wooden pencil, except this is all graphite instead of having to work and sharpen the lead and all that junk. Just go straight to that. You know, just sharpen it, and then that's all lead that I can use to put in the dark places and the heavy lines. So that's my little trifecta of pencil tools. Now my inks, my ink work stuff is like all over the place. So So what is everybody doing on this night? Other than watching me draw. You're drawing too, Sketch Ugly? What are you drawing? What are you working on? I think my music list has run out. Oh, that's a good one. Batman versus Wolverine. There's a good question. Who do you think would win in a fight between Batman and Wolverine? I know there's like, one of those like epic battles where they put them together and Wolverine won because Batman wasn't able to prepare. But I just wonder, like, in a legit fight, who would win on that one? Would it be Wolverine or would it be Batman? Because I personally lean, I think, towards Wolverine on that. Just because Batman hasn't had time to, like, if they just happen to meet by chance, Batman hasn't had time to prepare for Wolverine. Hey, Draw Comics, how you doing? Yeah, it's a different POV. Winged Elf isn't with me today to help me out. I'm gonna see if I can... There, you can see a little bit better now. Okay. I can still see with my drafting table light, but you guys can see it better, so you can see what I'm working on. But yeah, Winged Elf Girl isn't with me today, so I had to figure out a different layout. I'm doing good, drawing comics. Just doing the, as you can see, I'm doing Iron Man, but it's for the 5,000 followers winner. One of the winners requested Iron Man, so I am drawing Iron Man. I feel like that's too much space. I've got a reference photo because the customer asked for a Mark 85, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind drawing Iron Man, but the newer versions are always a little bit of a pain because there's so much detail in there. I always have trouble keeping track. So there's probably going to be a little bit of fudging in this. But don't worry, it'll look good. Thank you, Draw Comics. as far as the Attack on Titans, what do you say we give Attack on Titans a little bit of a break tonight? Because I know you love sharing, but for me, it's kind of difficult to... I'm trying to make sure that I can catch everybody when they talk, so... And I'm kind of in a weird, wonky... As you can see, I'm kind of in a weird, wonky position here, so... What show did you start? What new show did you start? This thing is so complicated. Why did I agree to this? It's every famous artist's last words. Why did I agree to this? Oh, JoJo. I don't know much about JoJo, but I've heard about JoJo. So I've seen quite a few artists drawing JoJo, so let's see. Okay, so now I think you can pretty see it a little bit better with the light, but this is where I'm at now. I've got the rough sketch in. Hey Shira, how's it going? So I've got this laid out, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start erasing some of these areas, because as I said, my reference photo, I had to have a reference photo just for the sake of there's so many pieces on a Mark 85. So I'm going to start erasing some pieces and start putting in like the final details for when I go to ink. So complaining? I'm an artist. Part of it is complaining. Part of it's why the heck did I agree to an 85? Because it is a very detailed Iron Man, so yeah, I hope they like them, Shira, I really do. Yeah, and I'll always be my worst critic. Yeah, I know that. So draw comics. What ink are you using? What kind of, is it a pen? What you got going on there? Okay, so this is all weird lines, so we're just gonna fudge this in here. There we go. There will be a lot of fudging in this, so but I promise I'll make it look good. I have not seen WandaVision's new episode. Don't ruin it for me. I'm watching it after this is all over. So after I'm done with the stream, I was gonna watch WandaVision because I heard it's pretty big. I saw episode 5. I have not seen the new episode yet. Don't spoil it for me. Yeah, don't spoil it. There's a bunch of people in the feed. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. You know what? I'll say this. I haven't had any rough scallions in my feed yet, so I think we'll all be respectful and not spoil WandaVision for everybody. We got some pretty good folks in here, so. Trying to figure out this weird piece of armor right here. And then everything else is just kind of like a... Let's see, this... Wraps up the neck. Okay. I hate it more. Thank you for not spoiling. I appreciate it. So, I know I got a couple people who just walked in. Anybody else drawing? I'd like to know what you're drawing. It's always fun to hear what people are drawing. Let's see. Okay, we got that in there. We got his other arm. I think I need to work on his head a little bit. You're going to continue later? Cool. Alright, we're going to rework this helmet here. Make sure it looks nice and streamlined like it does in the movie. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to take a swig of my Mountain Dew. It's been a crazy day, so I need a little bit of go-go juice to keep going. Yeah, my camera shakes a lot. I've got a new setup, but it shakes like no tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm a rough drawer, so there's going to be a little bit of shake. If it gets too bad, let me know, guys, and I'll work on a different setup so that we don't have this problem in the future. Okay, so his bottom part of the helmet is right here, and that's the top. So that's there. Shower, you're going to draw while trying to pay attention. Are you working on your next commission? I don't know, I might be a little quiet today, guys, so if you got questions, go ahead and speak up. I'll make sure to try and check in as much as I can. If I miss somebody's question, don't take it personally. I'm just on my own tonight, so give the helper a break, you know what I mean? Because unfortunately the person she helps is very demanding of how he wants things done. So it's not always well. Rough movements on the paper? Yeah. Yeah. Good. I'm glad the shaking's not so bad. Unless I'm like, "Rah!" But this camera setup isn't the best, but it holds pretty well. I am not knocking this camera set, mainly for the fact of it allows me to do fun stuff and talk to you fine folks. So, I am not too upset with this camera setup, so. Let's see. So I need to start, he's got some like armor pieces in here, so I need to at least start placing those in. Got a piece here. Leans over this way. I think goes in that way. Yeah, it's just like I said, it'll look like it, but there's going to be a little bit of fudging in this. Don't think we need to add that, and then add that there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now do it to the other side. I gotta be honest, that's one thing I do like about the Mark 85 is there's so many details like to it, but most of it's just filler that if you're someone like me and is not very good at being super attentive to everything that's in the armor, it gives you some grace. Okay. I think I've got enough going on here that I can start finalizing some lines. So let me see what you guys are talking about here. Ooh, that'd be good. A digital monitor, that'd be cool. Yeah, draw comics. I second that. What will your manga be about? I want to know. Like, I'm not a super hardcore manga fan, but I can appreciate some good manga. So, one thing that I love about manga that I don't really see in a lot of comics these days is that energy. There's something about manga where it has an energy that nothing else seems to have. So... yeah, I'm going to get my cheat tool out here real quick. Those are too big. Here we go. Nope. There we go. I think we'll make it a size bigger. We'll put that in there. Ta-da! See. Draw comics, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a good story. No, it's sad story, but good story. Okay. Here's a big thumb. We'll do the thumb first. Middle Age is actually pretty cool. Draws comics. And don't worry, we're all geeks. So, we're all geeks of some sort in here. You're in a safe place to be a geek. So... What am I listening to? It is so slow. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That was a little too weird for me. A little too much Buddy Holly going on in there. I like Buddy Holly, but not for drawing. Everybody who's just coming in, welcome. He's on a journey to find his family's killer. Just a little bit fatter, so it gives the illusion that the top of his finger has more of a cover on it. Excuse me. Then become a duo. Okay. Did I miss something there? I missed the conversations. People... Okay, what conversation did I miss? Did I miss any? Oh, by the way, Danny, did you get your piece today? I haven't been able to check to see if it was mailed. I know I'm like calling you out like right on, like online, and I'm sorry, but I've been really anxious to make sure that gets to you. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I haven't been checking my social media today, so but I'll definitely take a look at that. I'm so glad that you got it, cuz that's the nervous part is I send the stuff out and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I hope it gets there." Alrighty. Batmike 18. What is the best pencil to use? See, that's a tricky question. That depends on the artist. For me, the best pencil to use is, I like mechanical pencils just so I don't have to keep resharpening the lead and all that stuff. If it gets too dull, I can break the tip off and start over. My main thing is what's comfortable in your hand. A lot of people use this. Like when I go to put in details, and all that stuff, a lot of people like this pencil. I like this pencil just because of all the cushions on the pencil. It's easy on my fingers. But yeah, that really depends on the artist, because the artist really has to figure out what works for them. And there's so many tools out there, and I know that's kind of like it seems like an escape, but like an escape to answer the question, but it really is the best answer is what works for you. There's people who use nothing but like 4H lead, and they work from like 5 to 2, and that's what they work with. There's people who work with H lead, and that's all they work with. Me, I just like HB because I can put lines down, and they usually go away when I put them back up. So when I want to erase something, so it's basically just figuring out playing with tools, figuring out what tool works for you. Like, I used to work with a pencil that had a lot more of a grittier grip, and it's just, as I get older, joints don't work like they used to. I've had a lot of hand problems and stuff, so it's, something that's a little bit easier on my fingers when I draw is what I shoot for, so. Thank you, A-Comics. I'm glad you like it. That's a great relief. See, I wouldn't say it's an escape. Yeah, and the beauty of it is, Shira's got it right. It's not really an escape, but the main thing is I can give you, when anybody asks for advice, it used to be where it was like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. But in the end, I basically learned everybody works differently. So the best that I can give you as far as, advice is what works for me. And then you can go for it and design. Like, I'll tell you this, a lot of it is experimentation and finding what works for you. Because I'll tell you this, I have a little tool chest over here of rejects and of things that just didn't work out. So it's really going to be an experiment. Yes, Art is Life. Yeah, I used to use blue pencil, but I found that I didn't get the line weight that I wanted. It's something to do with my eyes, like, and for anybody who's not an artist out there, a beginner artist, when I talk about line weight, is if you look here, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look here at his hand, there's a thicker line around his hand than around his chest and his head. That's because I'm trying to create the illusion that his arm is in front of everything. So that's called line weight. I put a heavier line to show that this is closer to the viewer than his head is or his chest is. And I always found that when I used blue pencil, it didn't really, my line weight suffered. That's the only way I could really describe it. Like, I can see it in past comics where it just suffered, and so I switched back to graphite. And is it a lot more messy? Yeah. But in the end, half the time I ink over it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. To me, anyway. Oh, the glove, well, let me see here. Hang on, Charlie. Before I answer that, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, as far as lead, for construction purposes, this is either HB or 4H. 4H just makes sure that I'm not putting too much weight on it, but HB is like my finalizing line, A Comics. Now, Shira, to answer your question, this is just one of those digital gloves that you can get, and the only reason I use it is because I'm sick and tired of getting graphite on my hand. So, I bought it thinking, oh, that's what it's used for, because I've seen artists like wear something similar when they ink so they don't get black on their hand. But in the end, I realized, oh, this is for digital, and I just still use it for this, just so I don't smudge my hands, because I get tired of going to the bathroom to wash my hands off. This is literally just a glove that I got on Wish. Literally just a glove I got on all Wish. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of emotions in manga. That's what it's a lot more passion, where American comics is more story. Which is fun if you read about why Marvel Comics didn't really succeed until manga Spider-Man. But yeah, the graphite smudging all over the place, there's really no way to avoid that. I'll show you with one of my pages that I'm working on. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. But if you look here on this page, it's about as best we're going to get. I'm trying my best here. You can still see some smudges and stuff like that from my hand, but I try to clean up most of that in the final process when I'm putting down final lines. But this just keeps the graphite off. There's really no getting away from smudging. It's just this glove keeps it off my hand, and that's what I prefer. So. If you're gonna purchase one of these gloves, like I said, I got mine off of Wish, but I would severely advise to stay away from Wish at this point, mainly just because of the fact that it's coming from overseas, so with all the pandemic-y stuff going on, who knows when it'll get here, if it gets here. But if you can get your glove cheap, go for it. Yeah, Wish is kind of hit and miss. You really have to do, like, a lot of, like, research and stuff. Well, it's kind of like eBay, I guess. eBay's a little bit better. Still trying to figure out this. There we go. Yeah, I saw that too, where a lot of artwork and stuff, they do that. But to be fair, Etsy has that problem too. So, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Wish steals a lot of art, and I do have a huge problem with that. I haven't really bought from them in a while because of that, you know, multiple reasons, but that's one of them. I like this song. Save it to my list. Okay. So I think with that, we've got all the lines finalized. This is actually going quicker than I anticipated. So I thought this was going to take longer. But yeah, it's going pretty good. A few things I need to make sure make sense. But other than that, so we're going to take our eraser and clean up some of these loose lines. So when I go to ink, we don't have that problem. What time are we going on? We still got about an hour to go. So we might get pretty far on this sucker. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, sure. Mechanical parts are really hard. That's why I was kind of saying that I like this one, because his Mark 85 is more organic. And when the camera's shaking, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to not be as aggressive with my eraser, but like I said, the setup is only so good. See, this makes me think of J. Scott Campbell. Oh my gosh. He'll like do like the whole drawing, and then he'll erase the whole thing and then finalize his lines, and I'm just like, I'd lose it. I'm too heavy-handed to do that. Here, take a break here real quick. Hi, Becky Nixon. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Hours and hours of drawing Transformers. Yeah. There's some characters that I've always wanted to draw, and that's Gundams. And I'm not good at that yet. So that's good caffeine. A couple things I want to put a little bit of heavier line on. Right here. Alright, so I think we're ready to ink. I think. No, we're not ready to ink. I need to put in all my black placement. And I need to finalize the helmet a little bit. So we're not ready to ink yet. Sorry, guys. False alarm. His head is too blocky. I don't know what the deal is, but his head is way too blocky. think I made his neck too big. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Hang on. He has no ears. We need to fix that. That's what I did wrong. He had no ears. We'll bring that line up a little bit. Bring this. Jabba, 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 jabba. Rabba, jabba, rabba, babba, rabba. Okay, here we go. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And then we'll put some fun stuff in there just to break that up. Okay, so there we go. I think that'll do it. What do you guys think? Yeah or nay? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Go back to Indiana, you hack. You can say whatever you want. No. Alright. So, I think we're about ready to ink. No, we're not ready to ink. I keep saying that. We're not ready to ink yet. I gotta put in some blacks so that I know what I'm doing here. How do I want to do this? This is the part that sucks, is trying to figure out how I want to do it. Let's see. Let's start doing what I know I want to work with. So put in some stuff there. And put in a line there. Hang on a second, guys. I'm gonna go get a little bit of reference for this. So give me 2 seconds. I don't draw many metal figures, so we're going to go to an old book for some advice. I think this is the one that shows metal. Perspective. Drawing muscly characters. Faces. Hair. I know it's in here. Muscles, hands, feet, figure, drawing females. No, maybe it's not in that one. Hang on. Yeah, shadows can be tricky, period, but it doesn't help when it doesn't help when it's metal. Maybe it's in my characters. Alright, let's try this again. This is another wizard book on character designs. Somewhere in one of these dadgum books, there we go. So it'll basically be the same as always. I'll show you guys here. So this is kind of what I need to look at. It'll be the same as always, except, you know, you'll have a heavy shadow and lighter over here, but you'll just have a highlight on a lot of stuff. So that's the part I'm having trouble with here. Let's see. Thank you, I appreciate it. Sorry if I'm like reaching over, I have to look this way so I look awkward. Comics, I would say yes. It is more fun to draw than it is to actually do a comic, because in all honesty, comics take so much more thought and wherewithal, and there's a lot more that goes into a comic than just a basic drawing. And I'm not belittling drawing at all. Drawing has its own challenges, but to put out a good comic, it can be pretty tough. I do not. We're gonna have my handy dandy eraser by, because I do not like that. I think I'll put more shadows on this side. Like the light's kind of this way, but at the same time we've got this to contend with. We got this arc reactor to contend with, so there might be a few changes as we go. Okay, A-Comics, have a good dinner. If I'm still here, I'll catch you. Oh my gosh, I've seen some super buffed manga people. That isn't... yeah. Manga just has this wonderful realm of different body types. Like, I know there's always the... I guess what American side of stuff would call the stereotypical manga, but there's such a wonderful spectrum of art when it comes to manga. So if I get quiet, guys, I'm sorry. I'm getting into the stuff where I have to think about what I'm doing. So keep talking away, keep asking questions. I'll check back when I can. So if I miss, I'm sorry. Actually bring it up so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Yeah, draw comics, I would agree. If they're your hardest one, draw them more. I'm sure people have probably heard this before, and I'm probably just repeating a bunch of artists, but one of my professors once told me that if you have 1,000 crappy drawings in you, and the more you practice, the closer you get to getting those 1,000 out. In all honesty, I'd say that's with anything you struggle with. Like for me, for the longest time, it was females. I had people teach me tricks and all that stuff on how to draw females, and it just never stuck. So, and then eventually I figured it out. I figured out what works for me. It's basically just one day the only way I can really describe is one day you're just going to come across it and it's like, oh, that's how I do it. Just put some... So, I think I'm going to do that just for the hell of it, because I feel like that needs a bump. And plus you've got the arc reactor here that's spewing off light, so you don't want much light there. And then I'll put some... Okay, so that's what we got so far. Who's my next character? Well, the next one is drawing the winner as a zombie. So that's going to be an interesting one, but a really fun one because I love details. After that, I'm thinking of doing Carnage. That'd be fun. I think Carnage would be a fun one to start. He's one of the more difficult characters I haven't done in a while. What was that? Yeah, everybody's talking at once. Hang on. I was reading something and then a bunch of people talked at once. I was like, ah! Oh, please do Carnage. You would buy Carnage? Well, then I'll do it then. After I finish the 5,000 winners, I'll do Carnage. So that's going to be some fun and experimentation because he's been drawn like everybody thinks he probably is drawn like one way. He's been drawn so many different ways. So let me scroll back here. Romantic anime is good. I'd also recommend for females. Oh no, it's kind of hard finding good reference for females these days. Let me get back to you on that one. Draw comics. I'll see what I can find. Seeing how I draw dead characters, yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, that's. I haven't drawn one in a while. It's fun because there's really no wrong way to do it. I could do whatever the heck I want. But at the same time, I figure if the person has to be somewhat recognizable, because then I could just cheat, do something similar to their head shape, and then just draw whatever, and I get away with it. I feel like Now, I don't really call that cheating, but I feel like that's just like the easy way out. And as many of you know, I am a masochist when it comes to art. So I don't want to take the easy way out. The only time I take the easy way out is when I find out I can't do it the hard way. So okay, we're going to black all this out here. Leave this highlighted so we get a little bit of a break in between. A little bit of shine there. I think we'll keep that black. Put that shine. There we go. Make that a little bit more narrow. Okay. Maybe cut that out a little bit. Make that bright. I don't know why it feels right. I may have to come back to that. I don't know. It does help push the hand forward. Like blacking that out, even though it's metal, I think helps push that hand forward. So ketchup. Draws comics, I will say this about females and romances and all that stuff. In all honesty, learning to draw females, you're going to have some awkward moments. So there's no getting away from it. I may be misreading. I apologize. I'm having a hard time keeping up with everybody's conversations, and it may not involve me, but I just learning to draw women. Yeah, you stumble across some very very interesting places when you're just trying to figure out how to draw a female. Okay, here comes the fun part. The face. How much time we rolling on here? 8:14. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Okay. This is a good beat. I think I'll save it. Sitting here thinking about the inking process while I'm doing this, and thinking about all the little fun little white highlights I can do with it, play with this, and all that stuff. Pull some Frank Miller stuff into this would be really fun. Alright, so Twitch keeps kicking you out, or TikTok keeps kicking you out. Why? My connection bad? No, my connection's pretty good. I don't know why. To be honest with you, I've been having trouble with Twitch, so I follow someone else on Twitch, and it keeps kicking me out on Twitch. So I'm kind of But yeah, I've been thinking about it. Let me ask you guys that question. That was brought up pretty good. That brought a pretty good topic. I have been thinking about doing a Twitch stream. What do you guys think? TikTok or Twitch? Hey, Crate, how's it going? Need to finalize some of these lines. One thing with me with inking, I have not reached the level where I can sketch and finish something off with ink. So I need to make sure I have my plans laid out before I ink. Otherwise, I'm going to be regretting it. And there will be a lot of whiteout. But I think I'm pretty much happy with where everything is. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Works? Twitch over TikTok? More incentives on Twitch. Yeah, that's true. Well, let me add to that question. If I Twitch, will you guys follow me? Because I can't do a Twitch without you guys. Yep, it's just about inking time. Thank you, Crater. Appreciate it. Thank you, Danny Morgan. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the props. Now I gotta figure out what I want to do here. Just put my pencil tools away so I don't accidentally use them. Okay, so we're doing something different this time. Past few streams you have seen me use work brain. You've seen me use the quill and all that stuff. The quill and the tips, you know, quill pens and all that stuff. I'm going to use something different just for cleanliness sake. Because the last time I was using the quill during a stream, it drove me up the freaking wall. Just mainly for the fact it's kind of hard to ink when you're streaming and like the camera's right over your head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my my tech pens and my brush markers and my portable brush. And I will definitely be using this. Somebody else was using this on their stream, and I fell in love with it. Great, you just finished a Batman piece. Did you post it? Ooh, everybody's talking. Hang on. Okay, Draw Comics, I want to see at some point, so... Did I go to art school? Yes, I did. And I'm indebted to it in many ways. And I don't mind. You can be curious all you want. There'll be some things where I'm like, I'm not gonna share that, but when it comes about art, nobody can do what I do. They can do it better. They could do it not as good as me. They can do it better than me. But nobody can be me. So I'm not afraid of sharing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my brush marker. And I'll show you guys how this works. Let me grab a piece of paper here that'll actually accept this type of marker. There we go. Okay, so we got this piece here. And as you can see, it's got a little tip on it. Focus camera. It's got a little tip. and I'd say it's about like a 1 or 2. But the fun part about it is that it gives me different line weights. So hopefully you guys can see this. So you can't see that. So it gives me that little fine line, but at the same time, when I put a little bit of pressure on it, it gives me heavier lines. So I like using these when I'm in a fix and I can't use a quill or a brush, or I just don't feel like dealing with it, because just with a little bit of pressure I can change the line weight on it. So that's what I'm going to be, one of the tools I'm going to be using. That's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to get his hand outlined. So am I throwing you off of focus? My bloody camera. Is that throwing the focus off, guys? Okay, so it's not causing the camera to shake up. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do, get past the comments here, I'm going to start on his hand. So we're going to take my brush marker. Try the Neil Adams trick of not resting it on my knuckle. See how well this works. This could either be very helpful or could end in disaster. We'll see what happens. If not, if it ends in disaster, guess what? We do it again. Let's see. Self-taught is better. Okay, I missed part of the conversation, but I came in when they said self-taught is better. Curious, why is self-taught better? Or why do you think self-taught's better? I see where you're going with that, guys. I will say there was a relearning curve when I got out of school, but because I had to I was taught how to do it, and then I had to learn how to do it for myself. Kind of thing. It's kind of like driving. You're taught how to drive, but in the end, you really learn how to drive when you get your license and you're out there. But I don't take nothing against self-taught, but learning from people who've been in, like, my whole goal was to be a comic artist, and learning from people who had been in the business before me and knew what editors were looking for, really fast forwarded my learning, my experience, my knowledge. So I will say this, that I do like self-taught, because sometimes there's an energy to self-taught that some school taught doesn't have. So there's plus and minuses to both sides. Yeah, Shira, debt is, yeah. I really, sometimes I regret it because I accumulated some debt for art. But at the same time, I learned a lot, so I can't really say anything bad or good. B-Chan, yes, you made it to the stream. Welcome. We are in the inking phase. I don't know if I'm going to finish this tonight, but we're going to get pretty darn close. I might add some color to this. I don't know. Not a lot of color, because unfortunately the markers I'm using, if I wanted to add color to this, I would not have been using the markers I'm using. But back to which is better. When it comes to the educating part of art, yeah, I think going to school to learn about it teaches you if anything, teaches you the basics. And it kind of speeds it kind of speeds up the learning curve, because I pretty much realized when I was, looking at how much I owe and all that stuff, I was like, I could have learned all this by myself, but it would have taken way longer to get where I'm at now. So, like I said, I don't knock self-taught, but I don't knock getting an education in it either, because you learn a lot from people who've been there. So we getting into digital art now? Thoughts on digital art? I like digital art just fine. It's art. What digital art is basically just a tool. Now, I will say this. I did a video on digital art. And I'll say this. As far as comic book industry goes, the only thing that shies away from digital art is resale pages. Because sometimes what comic book artists will do, in order to get a little bit more money, because believe it or not, unless your name is Jim Lee or Greg Capullo, you don't get a lot of money from drawing comics. So what artists will do to try and offset the cost of that, they'll sell their original pages. And that's the only downside with digital when it comes to comics, that if you do digital, you don't have any resale. You do prints and stuff like that, but I almost said junk. Prints aren't junk. But yeah, that's my only downside to digital that I can really think of. Yeah, it's not easy. I think the best way to put it is, I'll put it this way. Stan Winston, so for all you guys who are Terminator fans out there, and, Iron Man fans, his workshop was behind, like, the armor and the, all the special effects and all that stuff. He basically said, when they were bringing in computer graphics, that the computer is just a tool. If you don't know how to use the tool, it's not going to do it for you. And I would say digital's the same thing. Digital is just a tool. If you don't know how to draw a horse, it's not going to help you draw a horse. Yeah, you can trace a horse, but I'll tell you this. Any artist worth his salt can tell the difference between a traced horse and a drawn horse. So, I would say that, like I've said in all my videos and all that stuff, and I'll say it till the day I die, digital's just a tool. That's all it'll ever be. The artist is what makes the art. Yeah, I can see some of the conversation going on. Sorry, guys, I'm in inking mode, so I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing. But I see some of the conversation where there's, digital is easier and all that stuff. The only reason digital is easier is because you can. It's all the materials in one. You don't have to go for a piece of paper. You don't have to change your medium. It's all at a click. But it's still difficult. It still takes a lot of work to create a page. And I'll put it this way. Somebody, I forget who it was, made a comment on one of my videos, like multiple layers. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can live with that. Just coloring, I have multiple layers. It is a task and a half. So I guess from one perspective, it can be considered easy, but I don't think it's as easy as people make it out to be. Yeah, okay. I will agree with Shira on that one. Digital is a great companion to the almighty deadline. Because in the end, when you work in a business that art is the entertainment, you need to produce. And you need to meet deadlines. So if you have a tool that allows you to do it faster, then utilize utilize that tool to get. If it allows you the same quality that you had before, then yeah. But allows you to do it faster, then yeah, digital. Go digital. Okay, what am I missing here? I agree, it's not easier, it's fast. It's faster because of the way it's put together. You guys are explaining it way better than I ever could, because I do these long-winded conversations because I'm like that, and you guys say it in like a sentence. Am I still on the camera? I'm still on the camera, okay. I don't know who's watching and who's arguing about digital, so. Sure. Alright, we're coming up on the halfway mark here. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll have it all inked, and then we can move on to the next one next week. And I'll finish this up off camera. Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't like arguing. Why can't we all just get along? Well, B-Chan, I'm inking over it right now, but I'll tell you what, I'll blue line it for you, and I'll send it over, so that way you can ink over it. Tell me how good I did on my information. Yeah, can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along? If I have a Twitch, it's just not set up. I'm more of a spectator on Twitch. But if I do get a Twitch, I will let everybody know. And you'll have to reintroduce me all over again. I've actually been waiting mostly to do anything on Twitch, because as you can see, I only have one camera, my phone. And I've been wanting to do a better quality video stream on Twitch. You know, where you can see my face and you can see the art and I don't have to keep fiddling with everything. So, and as you know, that's expensive, so that's why I haven't really been pursuing Twitch much. So, it's in the future, it's just I don't have the right tools that I would be happy with yet. Now I'm not liking that shadow that I put in. Be a little creative here. There we go. Okay, so far so good. I may just do this all with one brush, with one marker. I may not have to put in any other details. We'll see. May have to clean up some things, so we'll see. I may like go in with a brush and do all this big stuff, so we'll see. It's like Cable Guy. I don't really have a plan as such. Just kind of going moment to moment right now. That's just kind of how I work, in all honesty, because like I'll go in knowing kind of what I want to do, and then I'm at the stage where I kind of, you know, I go in knowing what I want to do, but I leave a lot of it to interpretation so that when I go to finish stuff up, it doesn't look stiff. I don't know yet. Shira, I don't know yet. I'm thinking about adding some color. Not a lot of color. There's this trick I used to do when I was doing trading cards that I might do here. I don't know yet. That is a messy black spot. There we go. Fix some of my mistakes in the pencils here. Okay, we got one vote for black and white. Screen tones? You mean like the bit tones and all that stuff and the gray tones? No, I haven't. Mainly because I had to once in college. I was experimenting with it. And I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It might be something where if I were to do like zip tones or something like that, I would, at least I think that's what you're talking about, zip tones. If I were to do something like that, it'd be digital. Because I don't like messing with all that tape and cutting crap out, and yeah, I don't like doing that. I don't have to be quick, but I was taught to be quick, and that's just, I can't do that quickly. Drawing comics and inking them and doing flats for them and sometimes actually coloring them, I don't really want to do that. And I need to fix that. There we go. Well, we're not voting. We're not voting. I say stuff sometimes. This is why I could never be a famous person, because I'll open my mouth and I'll get in trouble. So, we're not voting. It's just, I saw one person, a splash of color. What I'd actually like to do is get some ink, like some gold ink, and do something with this. I might do that. So I might get done with the inks tonight, but I may stop there, just so I can go back and play with some colors and some experimentation. Because the markers I have, like my Copics and stuff, will not... Copics and the markers that I use do not mix. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, the sheet's yellow. I've heard that too. Let's see. See who's talking here. Narnia Bees? Yes, I know that. Thank you for reaffirming that. Oh no, my music stopped. Must have pushed the space bar by accident. My screen died on me here. There we go. Nothing worse than dead silent when you're by yourself. Yeah, I gotta admit, when I'm by myself and I do comics, it just drives me nuts. Yeah, I get to play music, but even they're picky with the music. Oh, you don't know I'm playing music? I got it kind of quiet, so you may not be able to hear it. Yeah, the music I'm playing is on a site called artlist.io, and you can, it's supposed to be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-copywritten music. Like, you can, like, for a subscription, you can buy a license and you're allowed to use all of it. I just play it because it has no words and it's not really, there's nothing really in them, so I just figure I'd give it a try. I'm not playing it that loud, so if you're not hearing it, That's probably why. Yeah, it's not always what I actually like. What I've got going on right now in my playlist is it's just stuff that sounds like what I like. So it's not necessarily like when I'm actually by myself inking. Then when I'm inking or drawing, I'm usually like on YouTube looking at stuff that, because I cannot watch anything brand new. Just the way my brain works, I can't watch anything brand new. It has to be something I'm familiar with. Because if it's brand new, then I never focus on my project. So that line's a little shaky. There we go. I don't know, is it coming along? May get done with the inking before. Yeah, we got about a little bit less than 15 minutes. So I may be done with the inking by the time this is done. So probably what next week is going to be. I don't know. Do you think I should finish this up next week? Or do you think that I should finish it up off camera and we continue with the other one next week? And then continue on with Carnage. What do you guys think? I'd like to hear. Because I gotta be honest, a lot of this is on the seat of my pants. I have a plan, but if you guys would like to see something else, I'd like to try, because you are the guys that support me on TikTok and watch me on TikTok. And it's because of all you fine folks that I have 5,000 followers. So I want to hear what you guys are interested in. You really want to see Carnage. Okay, so we have Carnage. So we like the plan of finishing this up next week. Let me put it this way. The more time we give on these, the more time I'm able to focus on Carnage and make it something really fun. Because what I've got right now would kind of work, but I feel like I could do more with a little bit more time. Yeah, really hype it up so that when it comes crashing and burning, yeah, that wasn't as awesome as you said it was going to be. Everybody's really wanting to see some Carnage. Okay. So the sooner I get to Carnage, the better, basically, right? Because I'll say this: the other project, I am going to do one more stream, since I did this stream here. So for the zombie, I think what I might do there is I'll plan ahead, and I'll map out the zombie, and then I'll finish him up on camera. That'll just help me out a bit. Ooh, Shadow Cat would be fun. I'll add that to my list. Is Immaculate? Or that be a big word. I'm not but a humble pirate. Let me look that up real quick. I know Immaculate probably was like high detail. Okay, Shira, I hope you're listening. You were talking about how you hate graphite going everywhere. Look up into my paper here. Do you see all that graphite? I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's just like graphite smudges everywhere. So there's really no escaping it. Yeah, better. Sorry. Sorry, my vocabulary is not a great one. Big shocker. English was. I love telling stories, but English was not my best subject because spelling and variety of words I used were never that great. I have a very minimal palette. Okay, so got less than 10 minutes. I'm going to be bringing in a big brush just to fill in some of these spots. So what I'll do is I'll bring in the big brush and then I'll fix it up. And I love these brushes. The inks that come with them suck because they never dry. So what I did is I took the pen apart, the brush pen apart, and I filled it with Bombay ink. So what you're seeing is fast drying, waterproof Bombay ink. I like this brush a lot, but it doesn't cover very well. There we go. Curtic? I think so. To be honest, I got it on Jet Pens, and it's all in Japanese. And I used to be able to read Japanese, but I stopped trying. And so now it's really hard. I think it is a Keurig. It's the Japanese manga version of the ones that Pentel sell. And I like it a lot better because I can get many different brush sizes, where Pentel only seems to have like one, and their ink sucks. So ink's a big deal for me because I need something that's fast and forgiving, and most importantly, takes white out. And a lot of ink out there does not take white out very well. I had what this used to be full of. It's Bombay now, but it used to be Pelican. Pelican was nice, but it didn't take white ink well. So let's see, put a sharp end on that. Let's see. Yep, it is. Okay. I gotta be honest with you, this was one of those happy purchases where I bought an experiment and it ended up paying off. Because I was looking for something that allowed me to be mobile. We gotta fix that. Hang on. Okay. Getting close to the end time. I might go over a little bit. Pelican is more, it's more of a writing ink. And I'll tell you this, the only reason, my brush is misbehaving. The only reason I tried Pelican was because I saw McFarlane use it. And I was looking for a different ink because at the time Bombay was driving me nuts. And so I tried Pelican and it worked, but it wasn't waterproof. So the ink would smudge. After days of drying, it would smudge on other pages, and it was just a disaster. and so I stopped using it. I tried like their drawing ink, and it wasn't really that much better, so I stopped using it. I like their bottle though, which is why I kept their bottle. But yeah, I'm kind of over Pelican. Well, thank you, Glamorous. I appreciate that. Glad you found me. So, I've never tried Speedball. What are the advantages with Speedball? Because for me, it comes down to waterproof and black. The less layers I have to put on an ink project, the better. So, okay, I got a couple minutes left, but I think I'm going to try and finish at least getting all these big blacks in before I say bye. So, if you guys are cool with that. I won't keep too much of your time. Just if you want to hang. Oh, that blasted brush. I got a stray hair somewhere. It's ruining my inking, man. It's throwing off my groove. There we go. Let's see. Waterproof and super black. I used to use an ink in college that we had to for our inking class that was Higgins, and it was Black Magic, but I stopped using it because I never got it to work really well with a quill, and B, it wasn't waterproof. And I found that out, luckily not the hard way, but ooh, you blasted brush. You've been working for me, and I've been singing your praises. Don't make me mad at you. Yes, I talk to my tools. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. No. That blasted stray hair is driving me up the damn wall. Okay, I think I'm almost... No, it's got the hand. Yeah, ain't nothing with talking in it. No, yeah, I agree with that one. The only weird part is when they start talking back. Luckily, that has not happened yet. Okay. Make that line a little heavier. That line a little lighter. Okay, we're almost there with all the inks. Probably go back in and clean some of it up off panel or off camera, but try and get this done as quickly as possible. So you fine folks don't have to sit here and watch me ink for hours on end. Oh, when you're super tired, they do. Yeah. I have to be honest, I have not had anything talk to me in a while. So, it's probably a good thing. Because the scary part is when they start talking to you and then they start making sense. Okay, some hard choices here. Guess we're just going to follow Jim Lee's mantra, when in doubt, black it out. Black this whole section out. That blasted little loose hair is going to drive me up the wall. Alright, throw in some black here. Throw in some black there. Okay. Let's get that repulsor ray done, and we'll call this finished for tonight. What to use? I think we'll go with... I don't think I have a 5. I know what we'll go with. There we go. Take a breath. There we go. 1. 2. Yay! Alright, guys. So, I'm about 5 minutes over. So I think what I'll do is I'll finish this up off camera. There's the finished project of the inking. I'll finish this up off camera. We'll do our zombie next week, and then we'll get into Carnage. But yep, that's the first one. Inked, and like I said, a little bit of cleanup. I may add some color. If I do, I'll do a TikTok about it, showing the color, the finished product. But let me do one more thing. That curve was not to my liking here. See, this is what happens. I could sit here and work on this until I end up making mistakes. So, anyway, guys. Thank you, Bichan. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. It is a pleasure every week to spend 2 hours with you fine folks. I'm still going to be working on this. Like I said, we're going to be working on the other 5,000 drawing winner next week. And what we're going to do is the zombie. And then we'll get into Carnage. And if you guys are interested in supporting me, just keep following my TikToks. If you want to see more stuff, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I have my own Facebook page. MTS. It's all MTS Comics. If you really want to support, I have a Patreon. But if you can't support any of those ways, I'd just gladly accept. I would still just enjoy seeing you guys on TikTok and seeing you guys, hit those thumbs ups, because you guys have been great motivators for me this year. So, till next week, guys, just remember, streams are 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So, next week on Friday, we will be back, and we'll be doing that zombie. So until then, guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves. If you're an artist, keep drawing. And guys, just keep being awesome. I'll see you next time. Thanks again.